Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for making time. So, as you know, कि आज हम third component देख रहे हैं, understanding का. Tell me if my screen is visible. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, it's fine. It's visible.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. So, just a quick summary of हमने क्या cover किया है, so that you get a grip of हम कहाँ से शुरू हुए हैं. मैं इससे पहले वालों का जिक्र नहीं कर रही. I'm just looking at the components of understanding. उससे पहले हमने हमारे 3 sets of lectures हैं. इससे पहले just to get to the tools. ये हमारे tools के lecture and this is the third one. And we were looking at the understanding what is it. And what does it concern? Well, it concerns everything. अगर आप कोई word भी पढ़ रहे हैं, subject पढ़ रहे हैं, कि कोई सी चीज़ को देख रहे हैं, उसकी understanding ले रहे हैं, skill की को समझ रहे हैं, किसी बंदे को समझ रहे हैं, किसी group को समझ रहे हैं, किसी idea को समझ रहे हैं. So understanding applies to everything. And then we looked at कि उसके 3 components हैं, और अगर एक भी उसमें से missing होगा, तो आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग जो है वो नहीं होगी उस चीज के साथ. और अगर एक को आप बढ़ाएंगे तो आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी बढ़ेगी, क्योंकि दूसरी एरियाज भी बढ़ जाएंगे. एंड देन वी अग्रीड के अंडरस्टैंडिंग जो है एक स्टार्ट ऑफ द जर्नी पे तो है ही है, लेकिन इट्स एन ऑनगोइंग थिंग. यू नेवर स्टॉप अंडरस्टैंडिंग. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. So if you meet somebody, you try and understand them, but your process of trying to get to understand them should be an ongoing process, whether it's your child or your spouse or your friend or your sister or your brother. You just keep on, put that in as something that needs to be done in order to be successful in that relationship, meet your goals, reach your destination that you want. So understanding की जो पहला component हमने देखा वो affinity का था, and we said it is an emotional attitude that you have, and you can define it as a degree of likeness. So emotional attitude, we discussed this कि आप एक चीजों की तरफ आपका emotional attitude है, and then you as a being also have a tone level or a emotional attitude generally in life. And that, in fact, determines how you understand things. It plays a very big part in that. So, इसको देखते हुए हमने डिस्कस किया था कि अफिनिटी एक मुसलमान की किस लेवल पे होनी चाहिए. Does anyone remember? कि क्या हमने डिसाइड किया था कि अफिनिटी जो है अल्लाह ताला की ने हमें फितरत दी है, and Allah Ta'ala is wadud, he's loving and caring, and we have been blessed with the qualities. हमारी फितरत में है ये to love, and we should be, what level should we be aiming at for anything and everything? What level should we be aiming at? Does anybody know the answer? Very high level? Yes, Samina, you're right. The highest level possible we should be going for. कोई भी चीज हो लाइफ में, even if something that you consider not worthy or anything like that, वो आपने एकदम उसको अपने से जुदा कर दिया जब आपने अपने affinity को define कर दिया कि मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता. So your understanding will go down if you keep a low level of affinity for something. So whatever it is, जैसा भी situation है, जैसी भी चीज है, if you want understanding, you have to keep your affinity level very high. And as a Muslim, we should be having very high affinity for everything, really. And then we went on to reality, जो हमारा last topic था. हम कह रहे हैं reality क्या है? It's really the real things. जो आपको real दिखता है, आप physical senses के through contact करते हैं चीजों को, they become real to you, and that's your reality. And then when people agree with something on an area, we say that वो भी reality है, इन दो लोगों की reality है, एक जैसी है. It's an agreement between people. So we looked at कि reality कितनी कैसी होनी चाहिए, एक मुसलमान की reality कैसी होनी चाहिए. What do you think? We talked about this last time. What is the reality level that we should have as a Muslim, as a Muslim person? What is Allah Ta'ala blessed us with? Do we need to have reality on things? It should be a low-level reality. कैसी reality होनी चाहिए? You can answer in the chat, right? What do you think? Margarine, yeah. It should be a very high level reality. आपके लिए चीजें real होंगी तो आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग बढ़ेगी. अब रियलिटी कैसे बढ़ाते हैं, एक तो आपकी your experience in life teaches you a lot of things. आपका knowledge base, आप कितने पर्सपेक्टिव्स को देख रहे हैं, उससे आपका रियलिटी बढ़ेगी, आपके रिसर्च से बढ़ेगी, आपके क्वेश्चन से बढ़ेगी. That's right, Anna. And then your reality also depends on your consciousness level. And we talked about the consciousness level when we talked about personality. Personality के जो last lecture 3 series था, उसमें हमने बात की थी कि it depends, आप reality को किस तरह से देखेंगे. It really depends on your reality level. If your consciousness level is very high, you tend to look at things very broadly, and also you tend to accommodate other realities a lot. But अगर आपकी बहुत low है तो वो आप डर जाते हैं उससे. You don't really understand it. It becomes fearful for you, or you get angry at it. आपके consciousness level पे depend करता है कि आपकी reality की toleration क्या है. So we looked at this, we ended off last time with this screen, what we are saying, कि हमारा मकसद क्या है as Muslims. We want to make ourselves better, right? We all agree with that. We want to make our family better. We want to make the community, the world, everything better, right? So एक अगर आपको देखा जाए तो आपकी अपने बारे में reality है. It needs to be very high. You need to know yourself. It's very important that you know yourself, right? And then you also need to have a very high reality on your family members, your friends, जिसके साथ भी relationship है, community, whichever area you're expanding into, आपकी reality high होनी चाहिए, जैसी भी situation है, because your understanding of that thing is necessary for you to even change it. So you must have a very good knowledge of that area. And then we are saying that as a Muslim, we also want to change realities in the world. We are not happy with the way things are. We are not happy with the way we ourselves are. We want to be better people. So एक तो reality है कि मैं कैसी हूँ, and then I need to have a reality of how I really should be, given all the blessings of Allah Ta'ala. मुझे कैसा होना चाहिए. इसी तरह हम अपने relationships में भी इसको 2 levels पे देख सकते हैं कि what is it like now, and really look at it and have a lot of affinity for it, and then also say, well, how do we want it to be? And similarly for a country or a nation or the world, we have that कि अभी क्या है और हम होना कैसे चाहिए. Human rights होने चाहिए, justice होनी चाहिए. We should have politicians that we trust. We should have businessmen who don't look at profit but look at the well-being of the world, and in every aspect of their working, they should keep this as the highest priority. So एक माहौल जो बनता है, चाहे वो आपके घर का है, चाहे वो आपके स्कूल क्लासरूम का है, या आपके वर्क प्लेस का है, या आपके कंट्री का है, वो बनता है agreements के बनाकर. People agree it's going to be like this. You go into a street, वो क्लीन है या टाइडी है या साफ है या उस पे कचरा हर जगह फेंका हुआ है, वो ऐसा क्यों है? Because people have agreed to it being that way. So उसको हमें जो अभी present situation है उसको हमने सामना करना है, and we also have to say how it should be, and we have a responsibility कि दूसरे की reality को भी समझे, and we build this reality towards the highest level possible, जो हमारी responsibility है to make it a better world. Does that make sense? Yes? Everybody happy till that last lecture जो था? We go on to the new one then. इसमें कोई questions हैं? You're happy? Say yes or no in your, in the chat. आप बोल देते हैं तो I'm happy then that I'm being communicated with. Thank you. Kamal. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering. I'm चलती हूँ फिर आगे, right? So we are looking at the next component, which I think you'll agree is the communication. That's the one. That's the major one. और communication क्या है? It's actually you sensing different things around you. तो जब sense के channels के through आप किसी चीज को देखते हैं, you're communicating with that thing. If I look at my kitchen and everything, I'm seeing all the things that are there. So there's a communication that I'm receiving about that space, about that room. Similarly, if I look at a flower, if I smell it, then again, it's a communication that's occurring, and I receive that communications from that area. So communication is, whether it's your laptop or whether it's your personal thing, your body or anything like that, it involves communication to you. You sense it, and that is the first aspect of communication. Or when you talk about communication between people, so we are talking about interchange of ideas across space. So interchange का क्या मतलब है? तबादला, एक दूसरे के साथ तबादला हो रहा है ख्यालात का. So that would be communication, right? So in communication, जब हम communication करते हैं तो क्या चीज किसके बारे में करते हैं? अगर मैं communication, if I'm just learning about something, say my mobile phone, so that thing has to be real to me, right? If I'm looking at my mobile phone here, it has to be real to me. It does exist. Yes, it's real to me, and I have some degree of affinity for it, तो फिर मैं उसको communication कर सकती हूँ उसके साथ, right? So even in personal relationship, the person must be real to you, and you must have some degree of communication, some degree of affinity with that, right? With that person for communication to occur. So वो high भी हो सकती है, low भी हो सकती है, but that again will impact on your understanding. But you have to, that person has to be real to you. अच्छा, फिर हम देखते हैं कि आप किस चीज के बारे में बातें करते हैं हम लोग. What kind of things do we talk about? And we are saying that we talk about life, about the universe, about ideas, about things, material things. We talk about these things. We talk about life. And टॉपिक्स हमारे क्या, जिस बारे में हम बोल रहे हैं कितना अग्री करते हैं, किस तरह से डिफर करते हैं, कितना डिफर करते हैं, right? And then how much level of affinity we have for something or we don't have for it, right? So we talk about these kinds of things when we do communicate with each other. So we showed this picture last time. So if you're talking about it to some degree की reality or affinity इन चीजों के साथ होनी होगी. And we talk about those things जिसके साथ हमारी कुछ reality होती है और कुछ affinity होती है, हम तबादला ख्याल करते हैं, and then we talk about it to each other. If we don't agree with some situation, in life, we talk about it and say we don't agree with this thing that's happening. There's a lot of talk in UK about about the buildings and how people died so many years ago. केस को चलने में इतना टाइम लगा है और अभी उसकी findings निकली हैं. So people are talking about it. It's real to them. They have a degree of affinity for that area, and there's a lot of concerns about laws that need to be passed in order to protect people who are living in different homes. So these are the areas we talk about. And if you look at people as well, we communicate about life to each other. We communicate about ideas, about things we agree upon. If I'm talking to you, you have to be real to me. You know, if I talk to Shazia, Shazia is real to me. And I talk about something that is, we have a degree of affinity or for it. We might disagree, we might agree, but we talk about it, right? So this is what we showed this screen at the very start in affinity, that in order to talk to any one of these people, what kind of affinity would you need to have with them? Supposing you wanted to talk to this person, this lady here, what kind of affinity would you need to have? You can answer in the chat. या आपको अच्छी लगेगी या कैसे आप बात इससे करेंगे? As a Muslim, what is your obligation? Yes. Yes. You have to have very high level of affinity. You don't judge. You have a high level of affinity there. Everyone's a creation of Allah Ta'ala, and we don't judge, and we have this policy within ourselves of high level of affinity for everyone. So अगर कोई criminal होगा तो आपकी affinity high होगी उसके साथ, criminal के साथ होगी कि नहीं होगी? Criminal के साथ, yes or no? Say yes or no. Marjorie, why wouldn't you have a high level of affinity? Why? That person is still a creation of Allah Ta'ala. They have landed at that consciousness level, right? They're still a human being. They're in false self. आप लोग कर चुके हो, I think the students who are answering me, आप false self to self का कर चुके हो. They're just lost. They're in false self. So you can say, I don't like the false self, but their true self you have to love. It's what dab kya hai, and they don't know. Many times we go into our false self, right? Yeah, we should. That's true. Okay. So we said कि यहाँ पे communication जो है वो कितना high जा सकती है, कितनी high level of communication आपकी हो सकती है. So we were talking about कि आपकी जितनी reality है, आप constructively बोलते हैं, solutions में बोलते हैं, and you can go higher and higher in your communication. आप किस किस्म की बातें कर रहे हैं, and you need to be talking about solutions. Some people माहिर होते हैं problems में बात करने में, but that doesn't serve anything, right? You need to specify and understand the problem, and then let's switch to solutions, building a better world. Anything in the family भी है, solutions की तरफ आएं जल्दी से, and be very constructive. So when you're at a high level of consciousness, तो आपके solutions not only do they look at you, your family, your community, but you're looking at the entire world. The higher the level of consciousness, the more you are concerned about everyone. Everyone is yours. ये them and us वाला जो relationship है, ये खत्म हो जाता है. We're just us. We're all together, right? So that is the level we are aiming for in terms of, communication. And that is how we look at things, perceive things. This is that kind of thing. How we talk to people is another matter, right? So this is how I'm saying, our perception में, आपकी communication दुनिया में इस तरह होनी चाहिए, but you find it quite low in some people, कि जो असल reality है वो उसको नहीं देख पाते. Last time we talked about reality, so उनकी communication भी फिर it gets covered up. It's not true. They put lies in it because they can't face what is there, right? So इस पे नजर रखनी है आपने. And I think then we come to the point कि अगर आप किसी के साथ बात कर रहे हैं और उनकी consciousness level फर्क है, let's say you're talking to somebody at fair. So उनके वो जो रियलिटी है वो उसको नहीं देख पाते, जिनकी कॉन्शियसनेस लेवल फियर पे, वी डिस्कस दिस इन आवर प्रीवियस टू थिंग्स. सो यू कांट गो talking about high level of communication with that person because they can't understand that kind of reality. So how does one talk to a person at a different level of consciousness? So इस पे आपको थोड़ा सा मैच करके थोड़ा हायर जाना पड़ेगा, but you can't go too high because they won't understand you. Does that make sense? Right? So with fear, आप थोड़ा सा ऊपर जाएंगे, you can go up and talk to them, but you can't go and start talking enthusiastically to them because they won't understand that. If somebody is at anger, you can go slightly higher and talk to them with boredom. You can do that, and you might pull them up to that level. But you can't talk to them in enthusiasm. They're going to not understand that, and they're going to have a fight with you on it. So it's a question of actually just being, unki jo frequency hai. We talked about this thing that, if you have two things so dissimilar, wo aapas mein mil nahi paate. So in order to get some kind of communication through, you have to go at a level that is, they are vibrating at, jo unki frequency of consciousness hai, usse aap thoda sa ऊपर होके आप बात करें, you will pull them up, and gradually you can even pull people quite a lot higher if you keep working on them. So I hope that makes sense. All right. So now we are looking at के आपके साथ और मेरे साथ what kind of communications are we receiving through the social media, through the, through our news, through the culture, which side, what do you hear most about? You'll find it's mostly about the body, body की safety, body की life, body को healthy रखना, body की exercise, body का makeup, body के clothes, body के shoes, body के bags, body का house. Most of the emphasis is on the body. And, you have to see that it gains a lot of importance for people because that's all the time you're being bombarded with. Your whole life is about looking after this body, giving it a home, giving it a car, giving it money, giving it clothes and everything. And that's what they're promoting so that you stay focused on that. But we need to look at what our true purpose is and stay on that purpose and not get into this area and it starts running us and we go off purpose, which is our true purpose is to serve in this lifetime. It's a test. We have to win in the akhirat with our deeds and do the right things and raise ourselves spiritually. The main thing is कि हमें return करना है अल्लाह ताला के पास, and we have to return in a pure state. So that means pure affinity for everything, no judgment, and we have to have the truth, ilm hona hai. And, the book of guidance for life is Quran, and we should be really studying them. It's a book of character building. So ilm wahan se le, any field you're interested in, usme ilm hasil kare, excel kare, bring out solutions. This is what life is about. I work in the field of education. Aapka jo bhi passion hai, you take that passion, and you work on that, and you become an expert in that, and you spread goodness to the world through that area. That is what a Muslim does. And God has blessed us with a planet with so many problems that our pura area khula hua hai. Kahin pe bhi aapka passion ho, you just go and give yourself to that, and inshallah, Allah Ta'ala will guide you and open the ways for you to serve Him in the best possible ways. So we talked about relationships. So affinity level, we establish ourselves for that person, right? And we said कि इसको बहुत high रखेंगे हम, inshallah. And what reality level do you need to have to build a relationship? Last time हमने discuss किया था क्या reality level होनी चाहिए आपके स्पाउस के साथ, आपके बच्चे के साथ, आपके पेरेंट के साथ, आपके दोस्त के साथ क्या रियलिटी लेवल होनी चाहिए. You need to have, you need to know about them. They need to be real to you. So you need to be questioning them, asking them, finding out more about them. Don't assume things. वो फिर आपकी reality है जब आप assume करते हो. If you want them to be a certain way, वो किसकी reality है? Whose reality is that? If you want your child or your spouse or your friend or your sister or your mother to be a certain way, वो किसकी reality है? Yes, it's your reality. But you need to be interested in their reality. To वो क्या सोच रहे हैं, उनकी सोच क्या है, right? That is another reality. So it's not a common reality. जो आप सोच रहे हैं और जो वो सोच रहे हैं और जो वो उनकी condition or situation है, you need to find out about that. Why do they think that way? Why does it interest them? Why do they spend time over there? What do they get out of it? What are they looking for? जो भी area है, you just find out more about that. That's your responsibility in a relationship to do that. And then we discussed that कि आप कौन से level of communication पे उनसे बात करेंगे. So you need to be aware of their consciousness level, and then you need to be speaking a little bit higher or at that consciousness level to make a difference, right? So now we go on to seeing that we get on to moving further on to combining these three things जो हमने कहा understanding के components हैं. So we can now see what they are. A for affinity, R for reality, and C for communication. Affinity क्या चीज़ है? It's the degree of liking, your emotional attitude towards something. And what is R? It's something that's real in front of you and the degree of agreement that you have. And C is something that you communicate through which of his senses, and you contact the physical universe through that. And it's also an interchange of ideas. Interchange of ideas से क्या समझते हैं आप? What does that mean? Anybody saying, speaking, chatting? Okay. So if somebody in a classroom, a teacher is talking, is there interchange of ideas? In a classroom, if a teacher is talking at the students, is there an interchange of ideas? Yes or no? क्या idea है? Anybody else? Okay. What do the rest of you think? Anybody else has an idea? Is it a communication or not? Have you ever been in a situation where your parent or somebody just lectures to you? Right? They just talk at you. So it's not interchange. Interchange means कि आप भी बात कर रहे हैं और वो भी बात कर रहे हैं. Right? So then when there's one person talking and giving ideas, there's not communication. Right? So it's an interchange. It needs to go across. उनकी reality आपके पास आ रही है, आपकी reality उनके पास जा रही है. That is communication. Right? And we notice that a lot in our society, especially in our Pakistan. When I'm training teachers, I have to break that habit. You've got to get the students to talk. You cannot talk at them. It's not communication. You need to let them talk. You need to ask them questions. You need to let them participate. Then it's communication, right? Does it make sense? So we are saying these three things, the high level pe hoengi, so we have understanding, right? Okay. So, I did have a quiz somewhere. Where did it go? I'm going to try it because I thought I had a quiz, but I'm going to just see how you do on it. Inshallah. It's a simple one, I think. आपको दिख रहा है? Can you see it? Sister Shazia?
Yes. Can.
Okay. So, mark the statements that are true. Try करें, बाकी लोग भी try करें. Yeah? Keep going. We talked about what communication is. Okay, more people? Everybody can try it, right? कोई problem तो नहीं हो रही on the mobile? हो रही है, जो Sister Shazia will solve it. Are we done? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I'll share the results with you. Everybody okay on this? कोई questions हैं पूछें? I think mostly people have got it. So communication means contacting the physical visual through the sense channels. Yes. You know, if I look at something, I receive something. It is, you know, it is communication is that. You're contacting the physical universe through your senses. आप communication कर रहे हैं. Right? If you're doing that. Is that okay? All right.
Sister Azra का question है. She can't understand the communication with things. How does it work?
Oh, you're looking at something. Those definitions हमने communication के दी ना, कि आप कोई चीज आप देख रहे हैं किसी की तरफ, to that degree you're communicating with it. You know, you're in communication with it to understand it. अगर आप एक के सामने एक लैपटॉप है और आप उसके कीज को प्रेस कर रहे हैं, you're touching it, you're feeling it, you're sensing it, you're looking at it. So you're in communication with that thing. Does that make sense?
So मैम फिर जैसे अभी हमने पिछली एग्जांपल में कहा कि अगर क्लास में टीचर बात कर रहा है तो वो कम्युनिकेशन नहीं है.
So there are two definitions. One is about sensing. The other one is about interchange of ideas. Right? So पहला definition तो सही जा रहा है. You're looking at the classroom. They're all real to you. You're sensing their presence. They're sitting there. So then you are in to the वो definition सही है. आप communication है आपकी उस space के साथ वो बच्चे बैठे. लेकिन when you are just talking at them in one direction, you're not interchanging ideas, you're not exchanging them, so that part is out. Beings को तो apply करेगी ना वो, we have to have that, right?
ठीक है. मैसेज तो हमें मिल रहा है कि अगर हम किसी भी चीज को देख रहे हैं तो हमें पता चल रहा है कि वो क्या है.
हाँ.
रियलिटी पता चल रही है.
हाँ.
ठीक है, समझ आ गई.
Okay, good, excellent. All right, so now we are just going to look a little more at how does the formula of understanding work. हम कह रहे हैं each point is dependent on the other. Right? हम पहले 4 points हम देखेंगे. पहला point है each point of the triangle is dependent on the other. So let's look at that one. तो अगर C communication down जाएगी, communication goes down and up, तो क्या होता है? We are going to look at that, right? So you have not called a friend for years. आपका कोई दोस्त है and you just haven't met. They've gone to another country. You're not in contact with them. तो आपकी और reality क्या है फिर उनके बारे में? Is it high or low? You can answer me in the chat. Low. That's correct. It is low. It is low. It's not real to you what is happening in their life. And तो फिर to that degree आपकी affinity भी उनसे कम हो जाती है. Right? And so your understanding of them goes down. So we are saying when C goes down, तो दूसरी चीजें भी down जाती हैं, तो understanding नीचे आ जाती है. Does that make sense? Yeah. So now we look at it when it goes. Does it make sense? You should say yes. Just give me a yes and then I know you got it. Okay, good. So now let's look at the next example. जब C up जाती है, supposing आपके spouse हैं, he's booked a dinner for you for 2, and he tells you about it. So he's communicating about it. So what does that do to your affinity? Or your friend takes you out to dinner, whatever, you know. So what does it go up or does it go down, your affinity? Yeah, your affinity goes up, and he becomes more real to you. You know, it becomes his beingness becomes more real to you. Communication goes up, and so your understanding goes up. So this we are showing how one thing impacts on the other, and you can lessen your understanding or you can increase it by your communication. So what your communication, of course, matters what you communicate. So you can lessen it or you can bring it down. It's up to you how you channel your communication. So let's look at the next one. And that is on reality goes down and up. So say this is your son and you're the mom. And your son calls you up and he says, he can't make it. He was going to come and see you and he can't make it. And this is the 3rd time he's canceling his appointment with you. So what would happen to your reality? Reality kya hoega? What happens to it? Your reality when he does this? Does it go up or down? Agreement. Reality की definition क्या थी? Agreement between the two of you. So it goes down. Yes. So it's a reality आपकी down गई और आपकी affinity कैसे जाएगी? Affinity ऊपर जाएगी, नीचे जाएगी, वो भी नीचे जाएगी. Okay, good. So you wonder if he cares about you. You start to wonder, why is he care? You know, what is the matter with him? Why does he keep canceling this appointment with me? Doesn't he like me anymore? Doesn't he want to see me anymore? So your communication will go down with him as well, right? And there's low understanding between you, right? So, and then you look at another instance, जहाँ पे आप, you know, you've been aware your spouse or your friend has been unwell but hasn't been going to the doctor. And you've been sort of कह रहे हैं आपके डॉक्टर के पास जाएं, आपको जाना चाहिए, this is the right thing to do. You see the suffering, you don't like it. And he communicates that, you know, he's going to the doctor. He is decided he wants to go to the doctor. So आपकी reality को क्या होएगा? Reality meaning agreement between the two of you. Will it go up or down? It'll go up, right? And your communication goes up and you say, yeah, can I book the appointment for you? I can help you like that. And your affinity goes up or down. You're relieved and you think you like it. It's the right thing to do. It goes up. So your understanding goes up. So again, your ARC are very closely connected. एक को आप increase करेंगे तो दूसरे 2 भी increase हो जाते हैं, आपकी understanding जाती है ऊपर. अगर आप एक को नीचे लाएंगे तो दूसरे 2 भी नीचे आते हैं and your understanding goes down. Okay. And then we look at your affinity. Affinity going is the one that is going up and down this time. So your mother, you're sitting with your friends and your mother gives you a look, and it's a look that says, trouble, right? कुछ नाराजगी लग रही है, anger वाला look है आंखों में. So how are you going to feel about that? Affinity को क्या होएगा आपकी affinity को? Up, down. You're gonna feel, okay, what is she up to again? What she got cross about this time, right? So you wonder what have you done now? Your affinity goes down. Your agreement level with her, that you think, why is she cross again? Why does she do it when I'm with my friends or something like that? And your communication with her gets limited. So understanding kya hoegi, it will get dropped between the two of you. And again, if you look at your spouse, he gives you a hug, or he sees on seeing the house clean, your affinity will go up, right? And then he's more real to you. You see him and ask him about his day, your communication goes up, your understanding goes up. So we are saying just by increasing one of them, we can bring about a change in the other two, which can increase our understanding with the person. Does that make sense? Yeah, should we do a little quiz? Let's see how we go on that.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Please try the quiz. It's about
I can't see the quiz.
कौन पे problem आ रहा है, Sister Yasmin?
Yeah,
Sister Shazia, can you help on this? आप करते हो उसको
जी सिस्टर यास्मीन मोर पे जाएं तो वहां पे आपको ऑप्शन मिलेगी क्विज की, वो ट्राई करें प्लीज.
Are we done? Oh, we haven't got a lot of people doing it. Yasmin, did it get sorted out?
yeah.
Inshallah. Okay. All right, how are we doing? More people? So understanding का थोड़ा सा ख्याल करें, you know? Understanding consists of three things, right? Yeah. I'm going to stop the poll there. इसमें थोड़ी सी confusion चल रही है. I think understanding में कितनी चीजें हैं? 3 चीजें हैं. Understanding is not affinity. Understanding is not reality. Understanding is not communication. Right? The three things together मेकअप, अगर आपके पास किसी चीज की रियलिटी है, but you have no affinity for it, तो अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं होगी आपके पास. So you have to have the three things present for you to actually gain some understanding about it. Okay, let's go. So इसमें भी ये वाला जो understanding with a person is having affinity for that person, having reality and exchanging ideas with that person. This is the only one that's right. The other ones are not right. Does it make sense? कोई question है पूछें. Everybody got it? Thank you, Sister Shazia. I get one yes. What kind of class is this? Thank you. All right. Thank you. Mention the answer again. Okay, Amna, I was saying कि understanding क्या चीज है. You have to have affinity. You have to have reality. उस चीज की रियलिटी भी होनी है आपको, उससे उनसियत भी आपकी होनी चाहिए, रियल भी होना चाहिए आपके लिए हाई. And then if you are talking to the person, if it's about a person, you need to be exchanging ideas with them. Not कि आप ही बोल रहे हैं या वो ही बोल रहे हैं तो communication हो रही. Yeah, it needs to be an interchange. So affinity भी होनी चाहिए, reality भी आपको पता होनी चाहिए उनकी और अपनी. And then you are also interchanging ideas, exchange कर रहे हैं आपस में. So understanding फिर होएगी. Yeah, sometimes we have a very bossy person in our life who always keeps telling us. So that's not community understanding नहीं होती उसमें. Right? Okay, good. All right. So now we come to the next thing, that area of how do you talk to a person you do not know. तो जिसको आप जानते नहीं हैं, you have no, I mean, you can see them. Supposing I didn't know Shazia. I just know, I can see her, but I've never met her. तो मुझे उनकी reality के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं पता है. I just know she's a human being. I can see her, I can perceive her. ये communication मेरी हुई है उनके साथ. So how do I talk to her? How do I get to know her? What do I do? Right? So the first thing you have to do is I have to see that I find something about Shazia that I like. अपनी affinity level को तो ऊपर करें ना. You need to bring that in you consciously. If you keep thinking, I don't like this person doesn't look good to me, I'm a bit suspicious about it. So आपकी understanding भी suffer करेगी, वो आप नहीं पैदा कर सकेंगे. So you need to be actually thinking, having something in your mind, which is true. बनाना नहीं है. You actually have to have that affinity for that person. And then you look at them, you observe them for who they are, not something that you're imagining they should be, but for what they are. And you could ask anything that is real to you. I could ask Shazia, where do you live? Do you like where you're staying? What kind of job do you do? Do you like your job? Why did you choose this job? आप देखेंगे कि मेरी reality, I will learn more and more about her, and she's going to ask me questions about me, and she's going to gain that reality about me, an affinity for me. So जहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं था, हम एक दूसरे को जानते भी नहीं थे, from a non-existence understanding, we have raised it to a higher level of understanding. And as we talk more and more, which we do, Shazia, every day we talk something or the other, तो हमारी affinity भी बढ़ती है, reality भी बढ़ती है, understanding भी बढ़ती है. Do you agree? Do you get this? How you can do it? How you can bring about understanding with a person you do not know. Now, what would happen if I straight away started criticizing something in Shazia? आपने ये क्यों किया हुआ? आप इधर क्यों बैठी हुई हैं? ये क्यों कर रही हैं? Understanding आएगी फिर? Will there be understanding between the two? नहीं आएगी ना हम दोनों में. So there are certain topics as well. At the start, you don't take them up with the person. You know, like you don't talk about politics. You don't start discussing your religious ideas or things about how much money do you earn or I earn this much. एकदम से आप reality break कर रहे हैं ऐसी चीजों को लाने के लिए. You know, you have to create that communication line. मोहब्बत होनी है, उनसियत होनी है to talk about those areas. So पहले वो develop तो करें, वो baseline होनी चाहिए. Which you can, discuss and talk about. And then after that, you can, take up other topics when you have a deeper level of understanding with that person. So the next point we are looking at is that the triangle is not equilateral. Equilateral, समझते हैं, it's not, the three sides are not equal. You have communication as the very highest point. It's more important than the other two. And you can see that. Let me get back to where I was. Here. So you can see, okay, why is it of a higher value, do you think? Why do you think it is? पहले आप एक चीज को देखते हैं ना तभी वो रियल होती है, right? Affinity भी फिर उसके बाद आती है. So communication is it has more importance than any of the other two. वो उसी से start होती है हर चीज. You have to see it. I have to see Shazia that she's real before I speak to her, right? So it starts with communication. Anything that your understanding begins with that C, which brings into existence affinity, and that person becomes real to you, right? So when you are talking to somebody, observe it fully. जो भी है उसको accurately देखें, and then have the affinity for it. So अगर कोई this girl has lost her keys, she's lost her keys, right? तो आपके possible responses क्या हो सकते हैं? You're always losing things. ये एक response हो सकता है, right? You can say, why can't you put things at the right place? Not again. You've lost it again. Lost something again. You're always doing it. वो कह रही है, I lost my keys. I don't know where I put them. आपको जवाब ही नहीं दे रहे. ये भी आपका हो सकता है. Sometimes we don't respond. And then your response is, let me see if I can help. Where did you last see them? Right? So ये एक different responses हैं. सब communicate कर रहे हैं कुछ. Right? But they are going to lead to a level of understanding, and all the other ones are not going to lead to a good understanding. The last one is. So it's very important कि आप affinity level अपनी high रखें, reality level अपनी high रखें, उस situation पे उनके साथ क्या empathy, उनके साथ क्या हो रहा है, and accordingly then you communicate. Right? Does it make sense? Okay, so we look at one last point over here. I had planned on giving you more data, but I think we're running out on the time area of this thing. So how do you talk to someone you've had a disagreement with? किसी के साथ आपकी लड़ाई हुई है, upset हुआ है, how will you talk to them about it? What do you think you should do? You just had a disagreement with them, or you had it some time ago. So what could you do? So you have a disagreement, they've got bad feelings in yourself about them. What's the first thing you have to do? Put those feelings right. Right? So how do you talk to somebody? You have to get that affinity level up in yourself. You're not going to say, इसने मुझे ये बोला, वो बोला, ये किया, वो किया. That is not going to ruin your affinity for them. Think about it. He's such a clever person. He solved all those problems for me last time. He's very intelligent, but think about something nice about him. And don't talk about the argument you just had then. Talk about something else. Talk about the things he will agree on, so that you can bring your affinity reality communication up to a point of understanding, and then you later on deal with whatever you disagreed with. Abhi mauka nahi hai, abhi wo low hai. Does that make sense how you will approach this, right? So, yeah, okay, good. All right. So I think at this point, because we are running out of time, I think I should stop at this point and we'll carry on into the next section, which is we are going to look at how we apply the Quran's ayats on these areas. And we're also going to look at different situations कि का A or C का क्या level है ताकि आप पहचान सकें. So this will be on our Sunday session. We'll go into that and we'll go also into how the ayats of the Quran apply to what we should be doing in our communication with other people, right? So I think at that point, I'm going to stop the presentation. And if there are any questions, please let me know. Ji, Sister Shazia, over to you.
चलो खैर, मुझे एक क्वेश्चन पूछना था, अगर किसी और का कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है. मुझे हमने आस्किंग क्वेश्चन पे बात की कि क्वेश्चन पूछने चाहिए कि मतलब तो उसमें ये है कि हम अगर हम ही क्वेश्चन हमने पहले आपने बताया कि ऐसा नहीं होगा कि हम ही क्वेश्चन करते जाएं. अगर कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है तो उस पर्सन से हमने पूछना है कि क्या वजह है या क्या बात है. ठीक है. तो इस सिलसिले में मुझे ये पूछना था कि अगर बच्चों से बात करें तो हम उनसे पूछें कि क्या बात है, तुम क्यों लेट हुए. सॉरी. या फिर दूसरा क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, वो जवाब नहीं देता, फिर तीसरा पूछते हैं, वो जवाब नहीं देता. तो बच्चों के साथ ये किस तरह से हम कर सकते हैं कि वो एक तो अपने आप को अपना अफिनिटी लेवल को भी बैलेंस रखना उस वक्त मुश्किल हो जाता है बच्चों के साथ.
So what is the child doing? He's probably got his attention somewhere else.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not the right time to be talking to them.
Sorry. जी बिल्कुल. बच्चे ऐसे तंग करते हैं, लाइक जैसे स्पेशली जब टीन एज में चले जाते हैं ना बच्चे, तो फिर वो बात करना पसंद नहीं करते हैं. या तो उस टाइम पे अगर हमें कुछ ऐसा बात करनी है बच्चों को कि हम अपने पास बैठे उनसे बात करें, वो तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो वो पास बैठने का उनके पास नहीं मानते हैं. फिर क्वेश्चन एक के बाद दूसरा कर दें तो वो कहते हैं क्या हर वक्त आप क्या पूछते रहते हैं, ये क्या. तो इसके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं, कैसे इन तीनों चीजों को इकट्ठा करें.
Yeah, I think we'll take this up anyway in our future one, क्योंकि आप आगे की बात कर रहे हैं. What has happened is that there isn't a communication line between you and your child. और आप उसके बावजूद अपनी demands कर रही हैं. You know, so there is no affinity there. There's no reality there. And basically, they are fed up of it. That's what I'm getting from what you're telling me, right? So you have to give them space. You have to give them space. And they will come to you, but you have communicated so much. वो वाली जो बात कह रहे हैं ना कि आपने इतनी बात की है, उनकी तरफ की रियलिटी आप निकल गए उसमें से, आपको पता ही नहीं है उनकी रियलिटी क्या है. Now you suddenly start getting interested, and they are not ready for that because they वो सोच रहे हैं इसके पीछे भी कुछ है. इसके कोई और नियत है. हाँ. So just cool off a little bit, let them reach for you, they should enjoy you. You talk about the things that they like to talk about. वो क्या इसमें इंटरेस्टेड है, उनको फुटबॉल में इंटरेस्ट है, उनको अपने लैपटॉप में इंटरेस्ट है, उनको they like a TV. उसकी बातें करें जिस पे उसको इंटरेस्ट है, बस talk about those things. So affinity level or reality level कोई अंडरस्टैंडिंग लाइन तो डेवलप हो वहाँ, right? Yeah.
और किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन है? ये तो हम
करते हैं सिस्टर यास्मीन, you doing it?
सिस्टर यास्मीन अभी सर्वे फॉर्म शेयर कर देंगी चैट बॉक्स में, आप प्लीज
Yeah,
उसको
I'll share. Yeah,
आंसर करके जाइएगा प्लीज।
Anybody, any
I'll
other
share it.
questions? Was it easy to understand? Did you like it?
या एक
Develop
क्वेश्चन,
affinity for an angry person, Kamal. Okay. एक person गुस्से में, right? So divorce the first thing you know कि वो true self में तो है ही नहीं, right? Do you agree? वो
Yeah.
अपनी जिस तरह अल्लाह ताला ने उसको प्योर पैदा किया है वो उसमें है ही नहीं। So what you have to do is you have to remember that, and you have to remember कि ये angry person जो है वो असल में he's going through a tough time, that's why he's angry. He's lost himself. He's not in control of himself. His mind is controlling his emotions is controlling him. तो आपको उससे तो मोहब्बत नहीं करनी ना, उसके एंगर पन से। You really love that person. You care about that person, and you feel for how angry they can get and how upset they can get. तो affinity level तो आपके हाथ में है. You know, you can care for anybody. Does that make sense? Come on.
मैम एफिनिटी लेवल जो है ना वो कैसे हाथ में है? दूसरों के दूसरे जो करेंगे हमें वो फील तो होगा ना, हम भी इंसान ही हुए ना एक
हाँ
तरह से।
हाँ, that's true. वो भी आपको अल्लाह ताला ने ब्लेस किया है कि आपको फील होता है कुछ, क्योंकि इट कुड बी दैट यू आर इन डेंजर एंड यू हैव टू डू समथिंग, राइट? लेकिन उसको पकड़ के बैठ जाना और होल्ड करना वो चीज आउट। यू अंडरस्टैंड इट एंड स्टिल लव द पर्सन, यू नो, अंडरस्टैंड इट। यू डोंट लाइक इट, आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट कि आपको वो एंगर अपनी तरफ, वो लोग आपको अटैक भी करते हैं, आप भी क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं, बट आपकी स्पिरिचुअलनेस इतनी हाई होनी चाहिए that you actually, in spite of that, you know, you can hold your position and you can still flow love at them. Don't say anything, just stand there, you know, and वो काम हो जाता है, क्योंकि एंगर की जो एनर्जी वेव है ना वो काम करने की कोशिश, उसको काम करने के लिए अगर आप उसको ज्वाइन कर लेंगी तो वो तो और भी
डबल हो
एक्सप्लोर हो जाता है। तो यू स्टैंड देयर कामली, तो वो भी काम होना शुरू हो जाते हैं उनकी इंटायर, यू नो, and they, even though they might not say something positive, they feel it, you know, and maybe you give them a glass of water or something like that, and, you know, give them a pat or something, you know, if they can tolerate it. So you have to judge yourself कि भाई इस वक्त क्या कर सकती हो, but you are the bigger being. You have to be the bigger being always as a spiritual being. Yes.
इंशाल्लाह अल्लाह ताला हिम्मत दे।
Inshallah. You know, I think we are on a beautiful journey of rising spiritually. We are so blessed to realize. Yes.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, ये ऐसे नहीं लगता कि हम कुछ सुन रहे हैं, ऐसा लग रहा है कुछ करना भी पड़ेगा।
Inshallah.
इट्स हार्ड टू बी ऑनेस्ट, इट्स हार्ड। मतलब कोई आपके ऊपर गुस्सा कर रहा है और आप सोच रहे, अच्छा मेरा एक्सपीरियंस हो गया। इस रिकॉर्डिंग स्टॉप होगी?
नहीं हुई है।
मैं बाद में बताऊंगी।
Okay, I'm going to stop it.
मैं हम